Last year, in 2024, it was announced that Age of Empires 4 was going to have a new DLC for players to dive into, and well, this year the developers have said they are going to go one step further. They are in fact going to be rolling out 2 new DLCs in 2025. The real question will be, well, how much content will there actually be in each DLC? We have had situations in the past where actually Age of Empires 4 DLCs have been incredibly content rich. Either way, now whilst Age of Empires 4 by many accounts actually had a relatively troubled launch, there is no doubt that it has been improving leaps and bounds over the years, with bold changes and updates that have seen it emerge as one of the best and most played real-time strategy games right now. Within said updates have been the addition of some of the most iconic civilizations in Age of Empires 4, with the Malians and the Ottomans having taken the game to another level. The developers then subsequently released the Sultan's Ascend DLC, which added in incredible amounts of content to Age of Empires 4 through the Sultan's Ascend campaign missions, 2 brand new civilizations in the Japanese and Byzantines, and a further 4 variant civilizations alongside 2 new biomes and 10 new playable maps. With the previous updates in Age of Empires 4 having been so successful, there is no wonder the Age of Empires 4 community at large are eagerly waiting the new DLCs. In these new DLCs, the developers are expanding upon concepts that have been introduced in the past, such as the variant civilization, that allows them to capture diverse strategic tactics and military forces afforded to various historical bodies. Now, whilst they haven't explicitly said what the new upcoming variant civilizations could be, they have said that it will be one that they have heard the community has been wanting since the previous Sultan's Ascend DLC. Now, not only are the developers looking to change up strategic gameplay with these new variant civilizations, but they are also spending time on finer details. They will be introducing a large set of new units and buildings, and in some cases, updating the overall visuals of many shared units to assist with better readability and make sure your experience feels fresh. In addition to adapting the variant civilization concept, they are also exploring unique game modes in both of the 2025 DLCs that focus on shortened and repeatable experiences. These modes will encourage you to try out new playstyles, whilst also allowing you to adapt your skills and test your mettle over time. Now, the idea of having game modes with shorter games will really be music to the ears of those RTS fans who have felt that the Age of Empires 4 franchise have match lengths that are just too long for their taste. I love this idea, as the developers are clearly not only focusing on their existing audience and improving the game with previously successful concepts, but they are also looking to try out others in order to attract a slightly different RTS audience. Now, to get to the meat and bones of things, the first of the 2 DLCs will be called Knights of Cross and Rose, and it's set to launch in spring. The new DLC is set to bring fresh new gameplay experiences to the Age of Empires 4 community, allowing players to lead 2 well-known armies inspired by history and offering a solo mode that will challenge even the most skilled strategists. This is even more music to my ears because when it came to campaigns, we have to say with the Sultan's Ascend DLC, some of the best new additions were in fact the Art of War missions for the Ottomans, where it's kind of like a live for as long as you possibly can kind of experience. This was an immediate hit with the community, and hopefully we'll get many more like it. Now, arguably getting to the most interesting part of this news segment, the guessing game of what we might see in this Age of Empires 4 DLC. The following information is all from myself, my hypothesizing, and a little bit from my tinfoil hat. With that said, as is customary from the developers, they have given us small snippets of what we might expect, and in this case, we've got 2 screenshots. The first one is of 3 keep-looking structures that are static defenses and seem to improve with each age category or technology advancement for the civilizations. One really big detail, however, is that there's a keep here for Age 2, and well, we've never had a civilization that can make a keep in Age 2. So there's definitely a big indication of something completely new there. Also diving deeper, we'll see that the image file name is actually called Templar Fortress, which again is a massive clue that something is coming about the Templars with this new DLC, Knights of Cross and Rose. With this name in mind, it really wouldn't surprise me if this is a hint that we are getting a new English variant civilization. This would in fact be an incredibly smart move on the part of the developers of Age of Empires 4, as the English civilization is one of the most played civilizations overall, and so to give them directly a new variant civilization is something that will give brand new content to a massive proportion of the Age of Empires 4 player base. The next image is giving even bigger clues. The file named TC with flags is aptly named, as it of course features a town centre with flags. There is clearly a large central flag, which whilst in black and white does somewhat resemble the St. George's Cross of England, but more importantly, it also resembles the Teutonic Order flag. It's no secret that the Teutons have always been a fan favourite when it comes to Age of Empires titles, and I think it's coming to Age of Empires 4. In any case, we do also see other flags in the town centre. The one on the left really very much resembles the flag of the House of Capet that ruled the Kingdom of France from 1987 to 1328. The flag on the right, whilst harder to see, somewhat resembles the flag of the Republic of Genoa, a medieval and early modern maritime republic from the years 1099 to 1797 on the northwestern Italian coast, a region heavily influential in the Crusades. The real question is, how do all of these flags interlink, and how can they affect gameplay options? First of all, the fact that all three flags are included in one town centre suggests that maybe there can be a mercenary mechanic, which is not entirely new to Age of Empires 4. As it happens, the Byzantine civilization have mercenaries as a big part of their gameplay mechanics. Another option could be the choice of age up or technology upgrades for a new playable base civilization, such as the Teutons, where you choose from either Genoese or House of Capet upgrades or units. Speaking of which, there are seemingly 2 new units there in the town centre itself, but there's no real clear indication what they will be, other than of course a cavalry unit and an infantry unit. With all that said and done, we can really expect some big things for Age of Empires 4 in 2025. Moving on to another Age of Empires title, Age of Empires 2 has been getting regular updates and DLC content since its definitive edition was released. And there's another one on the horizon again. Not only this, but Age of Empires 2 will also make its debut on PlayStation 5. Yes, that's right, Age of Empires 2 will be playable on the next generation consoles. In any case, the biggest news is certainly the new DLC for Age of Empires 2. True to the Age of Empires DLC sneak peeks, we have some cool images to check out. From these images, a lot of people in the Age of Empires 2 community believe that the Chinese will be split into 3 new playable civilizations. With these 2 sneak peek images, there are certainly some very interesting new units on show. First of all, we have a camel that looks to be hurling rocks, almost as if it's a mini trebuchet on camelback. With the tower in front of it that looks like it's taking some serious fire damage, it looks like we've got a new boulder hurling camel siege unit. There also appears to be a new infantry gunpowder unit, perhaps a unique type of hand cannoneer. It looks like there is even a new type of step lancer, and of course, as always with new civilizations in Age of Empires 2, a new castle structure. The next sneak peek image also reveals what looks to be a new gunpowder unit once again, and perhaps even a unique unit. And with similar appearance to the Portuguese organ gun, it looks like one of these new playable civilizations will be getting a nest of bees. We've come to see this unit in Age of Empires 4, and it looks very suspicious that we'll be getting it in Age of Empires 2 also. There's another type of castle on show here on this image, and also a hero unit, which I highly suspect will be a campaign-specific unit, rather than in the multiplayer version of the game. In any case, the Age of Empires franchise looks to be in a very healthy position, with lots more content on the way for its titles. Speaking of lots more content, Company of Heroes seems to be getting more and more. This time, it's another battle group DLC pack, consisting of 4 battle groups for multiplayer and co-op skirmish versus AI. This means each faction in the game will receive a new battle group. These supplemental forces consist of powerful units and abilities to enhance your forces and employ new tactics and strategies. The developers feel that these battle groups may just well be their most exciting post-launch content to date. Firstly, each battle group contains one super heavy tank, each of which are franchise classics and have been highly requested by the Company of Heroes 3 community. The M26 Pershing, Churchill Crocodile, King Tiger, and Elephant Tank Destroyer are all making a return. Not only that, but each battle group will bring a number of exciting units and abilities. Some of these will introduce new mechanics and fresh gameplay loops to the franchise, while others will be iconic series favorites. The US forces will receive a heavy weapons battle group with superior team weapons and half-tracks that can control the battlefield before heavy armor arrives to finish the fight. The Wehrmacht received the Terror battle group. They look to shatter the enemy's willpower with airstrikes, suppression, and superior infantry tactics, and devastating heavy weapons will destroy anything that remains standing. The British forces will receive the Canadian Shock battle group. They seize territory to gain unparalleled momentum on the battlefield and deploy powerful incendiary weapons to displace any who dare deny your movement. And the Deutsche Afrikorps, they'll get the Panzerjäger Command battle group, which will cripple the enemy's advance with defensive obstacles, enabling powerful anti-armor weapons to make the killing blow. The Fire and Steel DLC pack will release in late February 2025 and will be priced at $24.99 US. Welcome back, Commander. Your strike team is to dive into the contaminated city of Sunstone and get some answers before the mysterious deadly plague spreads. This is, of course, if you play this soon-to-be-released real-time tactics game with roguelike elements called Welcome Back, Commander. In the city of Sunstone, all communications with the city administration have been cut off. You are the appointed commander who must assemble a strike team and deploy them within the epicenter to find answers before the plague spreads beyond the city limits. There are more than 12 infected types of enemies, and you'll get to make some strategic decisions that will impact the status, supplies, and sanity of your squad, with tactical decisions impacting the survival chances of your strike team during combat engagements with creatures. Each campaign is riddled with difficult decisions. You'll need to collect and be careful with your management of resources, with event systems in which 4 polls per day helps you navigate through interesting scenarios presented to you. The game is a squad-based real-time tactics game with unit customization and level-up skill mechanics and equipment upgrades. The lives of your men are in your hands, and the story will be shaped according to your choices. The game contains 5 chapters, represented by the 5 stages of DEFCON. DEFCON 5 is the initial stage of the outbreak, the first contact of the strike team with the quarantined city. DEFCON 4 is where things get spicy. New types of the infected appear, and the event pools for decision-making refresh. DEFCON 3 is where there will be boss encounters, and you'll need to think outside the box to be able to defeat them. DEFCON 2 sees even bigger maps, with all stakes being amplified and the difficulty increased. And finally, DEFCON 1 is where all the choices you make so far in the game since the beginning will now have a direct impact on the gameplay and the ending cutscenes. The game has a top-down camera angle, and you'll start to feel very invested in your comrades as you make decisions that impact them greatly, from ammunition and medicine reserves to their hunger levels, morale, with risk-taking decisions sometimes causing people to lose their lives. Boost your team as much as possible to give them the best possible chance at survival, but don't get too greedy in looting lest the infected find and ambush your positions. It's a fine balance between exploring, looting for resources, and timing your escapes. Get the balance wrong, and you'll be in for some deadly consequences. The command center is crucial to your campaign, where you can monitor the aggro of the infected, the phases of your missions, the number of your days until the nuclear response, the DEFCON stages of the campaign, your progress towards a cure for the infected, your fuel levels, which you must gain in order to evacuate before the nuclear response, and the number of civilians rescued during your missions. There is a lot to juggle, but as commander, juggle them you must. Now it's also worth noting that Welcome Back Commander is actually a game within a franchise of similar styles of games. The game has two predecessors called Chromosome Evil and Chromosome Evil 2, and I'm very happy to announce that I'm running a giveaway. I have 8 Steam keys of Chromosome Evil and 3 keys of Chromosome Evil 2 to give out to the community. All you have to do is fill out a quick Google form with a few details and an email address where the winners will receive their Steam keys. And the closing date for entries will be on the 13th of February, midnight GMT, with the winners being picked on the 14th of February at approximately 1 PM GMT. The winners will receive their Steam game keys on the email they submit on the Google form. I am hoping to be able to do more of these sorts of giveaways in the future for other games, and so if you'd like to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and also mention in the comment section below which is your most favourite strategy game of all time. It's a difficult question to answer, no doubt, but I'm very interested in seeing what people's most favourite strategy game will be. Either way, Welcome Back Commander is set to release on the 5th of February 2025, but until then, there is actually a demo version you can try out on Steam, which I would highly recommend. Now, many of you will know that I am a firm believer that a strong and compelling campaign storyline is the cornerstone of a successful real-time strategy game. So today, I'm glad to talk about a new game that has entered my radar, which has exactly that. It's called Space Tales, and it's a real-time strategy game set in a retro-futuristic environment where you take on the role of a commander in the Intergalactic Planetary Expansion, or IPE for short. You dive into a rich and immersive storyline where you embody Xander, the son of a legendary IPE general, and follow in your father's footsteps and strive to become a recognized leader of the IPE yourself. You travel through space, pacify planets, and prepare them for the arrival of new human colonies. The IPE has grand plans for you, and failure is just not an option. The adventure is rich with 16 main missions and optional side missions as well. You get to encounter a myriad of diverse alien races and discover the wonders of their unique planets. You'll unlock research points to enhance your army and tailor your strategies to your own playstyle. I love the customizability and research of your units, which adds a real richness to the gameplay experience, where you get to choose your path to victory. You'll meet intriguing characters that join your squad, each bringing their own abilities, and you'll unveil the secrets of the IPE, your father, and your true destiny. With all this in mind, taking a darker turn into the narrative, whilst the humans are seeking a peaceful existence on idyllic planets, any threats to that way of life will be swiftly eradicated. Now, there is something else that I would love to eradicate, and that is my subscriber goal. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so help me out. If you've been enjoying the content, make sure that you are subscribed. It's a privilege to be able to make these videos for you, but also, the privilege of hosting a human colony should be cherished by every planet in the galaxy. To all alien races, seize this opportunity or face the might of the IPE army. To assist with these planetary expansion goals, the Intergalactic Planetary Expansion Group have put together an incredible hub technology enabling the colonization of the inhospitable planets by human settlers. You expand your base's perimeter with small hubs, creating pacified areas that facilitate unit production. Connect these hubs together to form a vital power grid that fuels the growth of your base. Safeguard these hubs at all costs, for their destruction will disrupt nearby buildings and halt unit production. The game combines base building, resource gathering, and army production as you would usually come to expect in real-time strategy games, but for me, the real fun with Space Tales is the variety of enemies you fight against and the variety of units and abilities you can equip and use in your customizable army. Space Tales is currently available to play as a demo, and my playthrough so far has been thoroughly enjoyable. The character interactions and mission designs have been really fun to go through, with each mission giving new problems to deal with and solve. You can tell the developers have really put a lot of thought into the campaign, the storyline, and making sure the missions are fun to play. Just as well because the campaign really is the focus of this game. The user interface will feel familiar if you've played real-time strategy games before, and if you haven't, well, the art style and the graphical options the developers have gone for really makes it easy to understand what to do and where things are. Whilst I've made a big deal about the richness of the campaign, as one should when it comes to talking about real-time strategy games, Space Tales also has training simulations for those needing to get to grips with the controls of the game, and it also has a survival mode for those who want to push their limits in holding the IPE secure against hordes of alien threats. The universe is big, but not as big as the IPE's ambitions. Are you prepared to leave a permanent mark on the universe, answer the call of the IPE, and embark on an unforgettable journey of exploration, conquest, and adventure in Space Tales? Take care, and see you next time.